Hello everybody, today I got a Sword and Shield review. I'm sorry I'm late on this, and late on videos in general. I have a life, I don't have a life. So, yeah, Sword and Shield review. Also, my house isn't taken up by people because my mom's at the store, so I can record in front of our Christmas tree today. It's got a little train on it that my mom put up. It's nice, it's kind of pretty. We don't have most of our ornaments up though. We just got regular ones that match with the theme of the tree, the red and white ones. And then we're gonna put up all the different sentimental ones and stuff. You don't care about any of that, or the Sword and Shield review, but you care slightly more about the Sword and Shield review. So I'm gonna do that now. First off, the graphics. This is one of the problems with the game that the people have the most problems with. I think, honestly, the graphics in the wild area look kind of trash sometimes. Like, it's pretty low resolution, not great textures. I don't think it looks like the Nintendo 64 like some people say, except in the deserty area it does look pretty bad. But besides the wild area, I think the game actually looks pretty nice. Like, it's clear that the textures are pretty low, but they still look nice with what they're doing. Like, everything looks like, it just looks nice. And there's a lot of detail in the designs of the buildings and stuff, and the designs of the cities. Speaking of designs of the cities and routes. The routes are pretty linear. A lot of people have been saying this, but I still feel like it's still fun to go and explore around the routes because you can find they're like hidden items, but they're not Pokeballs. They're little sparkles, and they're kind of hard to find, and that's fun. But yeah, the routes are pretty linear, but there still are a good amount of trainers on the routes, and you can still curve off to do stuff. If anything, it just kind of makes the routes less confusing. So yeah, that's pretty good. Maybe not as good. It's not the best routes. Not as good as Sinnoh's. Sinnoh's were only good because of the music. Hi, it's Editing Eddie here. I didn't mean only good because of the music. I meant that the music helped make them good. They were still good. There were lots of good things about the Sinnoh routes. Sinnoh's routes had amazing music. So that was the best. Like Route 209, I believe it was. Even if you don't like Route Pokemon, look up Route 209 Day Theme. It's like hecka good. Just look up Sinnoh soundtrack, and then play that. And then while you're at it, look up Unova soundtrack, and then play that. And then while you're at it, look up Galar soundtrack, This New Region, and play that, because the soundtrack, pretty darn good. Most Pokemon games are either just pixely music because they're like old, or orchestra music, and orchestra music's good and all. But this game, there's a lot more like guitars and like this one city, the Grass City, I forget the name of it. It starts off with this really nice like light electric guitar part, and I really like that. And there's also a lot more like tech, like I want to say dubstep, but I don't want to call it that because then it sounds worse than it is. Technology based music. It's pretty good. Next part, the Pokedex. A lot of people don't like that they cut the Pokedex. I don't like that either. I think that's dumb. They shouldn't have cut it because they reuse models, so they didn't have to really cut it. But I still think that's not that big of a deal. It doesn't break the game. I wasn't sitting there like, oh no, my favorite Pokemon, Emboar, isn't in this game. Like, I have Emboar and Pokemon Black. I'm fine. If I want to see Emboar, I can go play Pokemon Black. I'm fine. But the most important thing, the new Pokemon, they're pretty good. There aren't a lot. But of the 3 generations that I consider the not having a lot of Pokemon generations, being Kalos, Alola, and Galar, I think this is probably the best. Kalos was pretty good, and you know what, some of Kalos' Pokemon are kind of bad, but it's still generally pretty good. Alola, I think, had a bad Pokedex, honestly. It wasn't, like, bad, like, all Pokedexes are good, but it was not the best that they've had. Probably better than Unova. I love Unova, it's my favorite generation, it's just I don't think the Pokedex is the best. Some people are like, oh, Vanillix is God. People overhate. No, Vanillix is not an amazing design, but the games themselves are good. But yeah, I'm going off track back to Gen 5. I'm going back like 10 years ago. But yeah, this game, the Pokedex, pretty good. There's a Pokemon called Phalanx. I had it on my team, but then I dropped it because it was weak, and I'm a horrible person, but I did put it in my PC box next to my other guys, and some guy in the game says the PC box are comfortable, so that means that I don't have any guilt with any actions that I do. But there are like 6 little Pokemon, and they all walk like this, and they have these little shields, and they're supposed to look like I think they're supposed to look like Roman soldiers or something, and they are really cute, and they have this one move that's honestly godly, and it raises all their stats, and the only thing is that they can't exit the battle, and that's really good. At least I think. I'm not in competitive, but that sounds really good. But they themselves aren't great. They learn close combat, though, so that makes them pretty good. The legendaries, I think, are pretty good. A lot of people complain how they look too similar. I honestly like it. It makes them look like they're more counterparts than just two random Pokemon. There's the third legendary, whose name I won't spoil, because I forgot the name. I would usually spoil it. It looks hecka cool. That is like the one Pokemon that I have gotten my stepdad to like, because he's all old school, and he's like, oh, these are too cute. I want them to be scary. And the third legendary is scary. It doesn't even look like a Pokemon. It honestly looks sort of like a machine, honestly. It's cool. The starters, speaking of which, I'm going to rate them all. Scorbunny, really good. Scorbunny's evolution, pretty good. Raboot, I think is his name. And then Cinderace, amazing. One of my favorite Pokemons. Grookey, pretty good. Evolution, okay. Final evolution, really good. I do like a Rillaboom. And then not Scorbunny. God, I already covered that. The next is Sobble, really high up. I like Sobble a lot. Then Sobble's evolution, and then Sobble's final evolution is about down there. I still have Sobble's final evolution on my team. I picked Scorbunny. I just got it through trade, the Sobble. And you know, it's fine the more you look at it. I'm exaggerating. It's probably like here. But I don't know. It's just, it doesn't look how you think it would be. It was like, okay, it gets a little darker and it has some green on it. So the final evolution should be darker and green. And then they were like, no, we're not going to do that at all. That's not what's happening here. It's a spy now. And that was dumb. But yeah, the Pokedex is really cool. There's a new Pokemon called Cursula. Regional evolution, really good. It's one of my favorite Pokemon already. Speaking of which, regional variants and evolutions, way better than Alola forms. I still have two problems that I had with Alolan forms, which is that like half the Galarian forms, much like the Alolan forms, are it's a dark type now, or it's an ice type now, and it's always dark and ice, or dark normal. That's so weird. No one likes those types. Well, a lot of people like dark type, but it's not like the fan favorite type. Like, you don't see any ghost type new forms, except for Corsola and Cursula, which, by the way, good job, guys. Corsola and Cursula are amazing. Probably one of the top tiers of the regional variants. Yeah, honestly, like, the best one from last gen was probably, like, Alolan Executor. Alolan Executor is okay. They were all kind of fine last gen. I do like a lot more of them now. Especially Obstagoon. I really like Obstagoon. Cursula. And some other one that I forget. I do like Darmanitan, the new one. But now to the gameplay. The story. I feel like the story in this game, at first I really liked it. It didn't feel like there was like this huge villain going on. They kind of put in Team Yell, but it was like, yeah, they have to put in a team. That's the Pokemon rule. So that it was like, okay, but besides that, I liked that it didn't really have a huge villain. It was more just you going on a journey to try to defeat some rivals and try to be the best in the region, and it really made it feel like being the best in the region was like a big thing. Like Leon, the champion, he wasn't just some guy in a room, he was like a celebrity. Like, lots of people talked about him. He had his own pose, which was that, to look like a Charizard, I suppose. So that was pretty cool. But then, towards the end, spoilers, by the way. Towards the end, randomly out of nowhere, this guy, Chairman Rose, he's like, oh, I'm gonna bring about the darkest day. And that's dumb, because they don't really hint at it that much earlier. They hint that the darkest day was a thing, and I thought that was interesting. But then they make it happen again, and then it's just dumb, and then that side quest takes like an hour, and then you're done with that, and then it's back to being good again with you fighting Leon. The fight with Leon is really good, though, too. Like, his team is pretty weak. This whole game is pretty easy. I think it's about as hard as Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon was for me, but at the end, he turns around, and then he's like, oh, I'm done being champion, and then he throws off his hat, and he was like, but it was a wonderful time being champion, or something like that, and it's fun. It really touched my heart. So yeah, the game's story is like, let's go. So that's the game story. Speaking of, once you're done with the story, you got the post-game. Now, the post-game, you have this side quest, and I didn't like it. You have to get the legendaries, and you have to fight these guys whose name is... They're not puns on Sword and Shield. They're just the word Sword and Shield in name. So there's, Swordward, who I like because he's named after me. But still, Swordward, Edward Sword, that's really dumb. And Shieldbert, which is Albert with Shield, which is also very dumb. So you have to like fight them because they take the legendaries, because they say they're like related to the original kings of Galar, which is like, wait, what's the current government system? Because then that got me thinking there is no government system, but like Chairman Rose, he's in charge of the Pokemon League, and Pokemon League seems to generally be some sort of government related things in most games. But he's also a business owner, so is a business running the country? I don't that the most impactful part of that plot, of that side quest, is that I was thinking about the government of Galar, and that's still pretty dumb. But in the end, you get the legendaries. That's pretty cool. I had the legendary on my team. I named it Biscuit, but then I stopped using it because I realized that if my friend that I fight a lot told me that if I use legendaries on my team, he would use them on his team, and I was like, so I put it in the PC box. But like I explained earlier, there's no guilt in that because someone said they're comfortable, and like if someone says something, they can't be lying, especially in Pokemon. So yeah, after that though, there is a battle tower. I like it. I think it's better than the battle tree. I feel like it's harder. I've heard people say that they think it's easier. Maybe I'm just worse as a trainer, but I liked it. You can get lots of bottle caps, lots of rare candies, so that's fun to get your Pokemon really high level. It's pretty easy to get your Pokemon really high level in this game with Dynamax raids and stuff. Speaking of Dynamax raids, the wild area. The wild area is also a big part of the post game because you can do raids, you can catch high level Pokemon. It's so much fun, but doing raids, you get like experience candies, which make it really easy to get your Pokemon super high level. So if you want, you can make your Pokemon pretty overpowered. So I would recommend not using those too much until the post game, then just make your whole team like level 100, and then that's really fun. But in the first part of the game, like you do want some difficulty. So like if it is getting a little hard, then I would use some candies. But if you're just doing fine and you're like, oh, I'm gonna use all my extra large candies, then I would not recommend that as much. But do whatever you want. So yeah, there's that, and then you can also shiny hunt, which in this game, if you catch like 50 shinies, the chance becomes like a half, and then if you catch 100 shinies, the chance to find a shiny becomes like a third, and then 200, a quarter, 400, no, then 300 is a fifth, or wait, I made some mistake. It's easier, whatever. So that's pretty fun. I tried to shiny hunt a Zigzagoon, and then I stopped, and now I'm shiny hunting Rookie and eggs. So that's pretty fun. The game generally, the post game isn't like godly, but it is pretty fun, especially with the max raid battles. Those alone, the wild area alone, honestly makes this game a whole lot better. But yeah, this game's pretty good. The only problems are, it is a little easy, the graphics aren't great, and the story gets kind of at the end. And then the pros are the Pokedex, the first part of the story before the story turns Garbo. I forgot to mention, a lot of the characters are really unique, and they like have their own personalities. Like including Hop, I thought Hop would be garbage. He is probably the worst rival of them, but he still is fine. I ranked the rivals, Hop, Bede, Marnie, because Bede is just haha mean guy, Hop is haha nice guy, and then Marnie is Irish, I think, because she says stuff like A or whatever. So yeah, the characters are pretty good. The Pokedex is pretty good. I like this game. I liked it more than Ultra Sun. I'll tell you that much for sure. Probably liked it more than Omega Ruby. Probably didn't like it more than Black. But that might just be because I like Black a lot. I'm emotionally connected to it. I haven't played Diamond for a long time. And when I did, I played it on an emulator, so I don't really remember that one that much. But yeah, the game's pretty solid. Oh yeah, character customization is pretty good. I'd probably give it like a 10 or 11 out of 13, because I generally really like it. And even though the story is kind of short, I still got like 70-something hours out of the game, and I'm probably going to play it more. It's just right now on my Switch, I'm mostly just using Hulu and Smash Brothers. So yeah, pretty good. I'll tell you, it's good. Maybe more than pretty good. It's really good. I really enjoyed my time playing it. Is it the best game on the Switch? No. Is it worth $60? In my opinion, yeah. So that's it. By the way, join the r/Mr. Osbolt's class subreddit. Please, that would be so cool. And also remember to dislike this video, stop subscribing to me, leave this channel, leave this platform, delete YouTube, throw your phone into the garbage, light the garbage on fire. Have a nice day.